With me, joining me tonight is going to be Robert from the band Sleep Signals. Sleep Signals out of Minnesota and kind of starting to gain some momentum in active rock radio. So we wanted to chat with them a little bit and talk about their new single. So we're going to do that right now. Robert is with us, and we're going to bring Robert into the stream right now. Robert, how are you?
Hey, good, man. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for joining us. That's what it's all about, is just good times and trying to promote Sleep Signals right now, as a matter of fact. So tell me a little bit about Sleep Signals. As far as I know, you guys have been around probably, I think I was reading, you guys are, what, 6 years in now?
About 5 years, yeah. Pretty close, going on 6, I guess.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Sleep Signals, like the origin, how the band became the band that it is now, and just kind of give us a little background of Sleep Signals.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we're an independent band. Like you said, we're from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We've been around for about 5.5 years. We've gone through kind of a few different iterations of the band, just some different members, things like that, over the years. We all kind of came together. It was a culmination of a bunch of other touring bands. We all kind of met, in some other touring bands that we were all in. We're all from different states, all from different cities. We all relocated. We're just outside of Minneapolis, St. Paul. We've been doing this now for about 5 years.
So does that make all of you Vikings fans?
No.
I'm
a Packers fan, obviously.
I hear you. So that's cool. I'm a Saints fan, so I can dig not being a Vikings fan. So where did the name Sleep Signals come from? Absolutely.
So Sleep Signals, the name, it kind of came from, we try to, when we write our music, we try to kind of lend it to kind of a dreamscape kind of feel. We try to write, kind of dreamy music that's, that you can feel. So it just fit for us really well. We also kind of had like an interest in, sleep phenomena like lucid dreaming and sleep paralysis, stuff like that. So it just it was a really fitting name for us, and it kind of fits the direction that we've kind of gone from an imagery standpoint.
I got you. So before we get into current Sleep Signal stuff, let's go back a couple of years to your song Drive. How'd you hook up with Marty McCoy on that? Of course, with Bobaflex and now the Lonely Ones.
Yeah, so we've gone. We go back to like 2015 with Bobaflex. We played a bunch of shows with those guys, like 2015, 2016, and we just became buddies with those guys. Marty's been great. When we were in the studio, we were sitting there trying to think of who would be a good fit to have come and do some guest vocals on this song. And Marty was the first guy that kind of popped into my mind. And coincidentally, we were recording in Memphis, Tennessee, with Justin Reimer. Coincidentally, Marty was going to be he was on tour with Bobaflex, and they were going to be in town like the following week. So it just worked out. They stopped in early before their show, the day that they were coming through Memphis, and he jumped in the studio, knocked that out in like an hour. It was really cool.
So that was up at Crosstrack Studio?
Yeah, with Justin. Yep.
Yeah, I love Justin. So what is the goal for Sleep Signals? Where's the long-term goal for you guys?
So, I mean, we're an independent band. And we're really proud of that. That means a lot to us. So, we'd like to continue doing what we do from an independent standpoint. And we'd really just like to continue seeing growth, and try to keep, navigating our way on our own. So that's kind of the biggest thing. We're pushing radio really hard right now. That's kind of a first for us. It's new territory for us. We've never really made a push this big anyway to radio. So we're just trying to grow, trying to keep things organic, and we're trying to do it on our own without label backing and label money. So I would just say continued growth as an independent band. That's our main goal.
So I put the website up there for a reason, because I'm about to share a screen, because you were talking about being an independent band and trying to do things on your own and everything. So if you go to their website and you go into their merch section, there's this spot right here that says "Help Us on the Road." And as an independent band, that is one of the most important things. Even if you don't want to buy merch or anything, go to their website and donate to help keep them on the road. I think you're one of the first bands I've ever seen do that actually on the actual website. So that's pretty cool that you guys do that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and definitely, pick up some merch. You don't have to just send us money. Pick up merch. That's what helps keeps bands on the road too. So
the hoodies are badass, people. Go check out the hoodies. They're badass. I love them. So let me ask you this: what post COVID-19? I know it's been tough, especially for an independent band, to stay off the road and not being able to tour and not being able to do a lot of things. I've been able to. One of my mantras for this whole thing is some of the best music is going to be written during this time, because they can't tour. Bands can't tour. They can't do anything but write right now. So I think of that. But where do you guys stand post COVID-19?
So the biggest thing for us really is getting out on the road, for a couple of reasons. Obviously, like we're kind of a touring machine. Typically, we tour, usually about 6 months out of the year. So if we're not playing at least 150 shows a year, that's pretty weird for us. So this has been definitely a challenging year for us. We've played one show in 2020, which is just really difficult for us. But like I said, we're pushing radio really hard right now. So we actually just put a lot of money into radio. The radio campaigns are really expensive. Usually bands, all the big bands on the big labels have labels dumping a lot of money into radio. We're doing that all ourselves. So that's coming all out of our pocket, and we're not recouping any of it because we're not on the road. So really our biggest focus right now is just to get out on the road and try to recoup, some of the money that we're pumping into radio, and then also to just get out and support the radio campaign. I think last week between secondary and primary radio stations, we had about 1,100 something spins for last week on FM, which is huge. I think we're number 16 for secondary markets and number 30 for BDS primary charts. So being independent, that's enormous, but it doesn't do you a whole lot of good if you're not out supporting the radio. So it's really frustrating. This radio campaign was already, this whole album release cycle gets planned out a long time ahead, and this COVID-19 thing has definitely put an interesting kind of roadblock in the way. We're supposed to be on tour right now. I think we're supposed to be in like Washington or Idaho or something tonight. But obviously, we had 35 tour dates scheduled, and they're all pushed back indefinitely. So the biggest thing for us is really just going to be getting back out on the road so we can support this radio campaign and get this new album out.
Awesome. So speaking of the radio campaign and the song itself, the song is called Fireproof. Tell me a little bit about that. And I will tell you this, with you being an independent band, you would understand this. So we're a live streaming show. We get out as much as we can. We promote as much as we can. We're based out of Mississippi. I'm actually living in Pensacola, Florida. We also have an internet radio station where we play the song. So we're doing our best on our end to try to help with that. And our little internet radio station is spinning Fireproof. We are playing the video on our show. So tell me a little bit about the song Fireproof.
Yeah. So Fireproof, it's a little bit different than what we've kind of done in the past. It was a really interesting song for us to write, and when we went into the studio, especially, we kind of started off with that big whoa hook in the chorus, and we kind of just developed the song from there, and we were trying to write something, I guess a little bit more kind of mainstream pop kind of vibe to it. And we got in with a producer. His name is Ian Combs. He's based in Minneapolis. He's done a lot of really great stuff with the bands coming out of Minneapolis. And yeah, it was really interesting for us to write. We really spent a lot of time on the song, a lot of time perfecting the hooks and everything. And it kind of almost gave us a little bit different direction on the whole album. So it was kind of cool. We kind of tried to pull in some of our, like I said, we're all kind of influenced by a lot of pop music and stuff like that. And, we tried to pull like some 80s pop influence, like especially vocally. There's kind of a little bit of like Michael Jackson kind of influence to it. And it really kind of redirected what we were doing with the whole album. So it was really cool. It changed our sound a little bit, but I think it's a cool. It still sounds like Sleep Signals, but it kind of evolved a little bit into something else, and I think that's really cool.
So when you are out on the road, and what's your favorite thing to do out on the road to pass the time?
I mean, we spend a lot of time at the gym, just trying to stay in shape and trying to, relieve some stress of being on the road. Cause people don't realize how stressful life on the road is all the time. But otherwise for fun stuff, we just really like to travel. So anytime we get the opportunity on a day off or something like that, we'll usually try to check out whatever the closest landmark or national park or beach or whatever. I have spent a fair amount of time in Pensacola on off days on tour. It's some nice beaches there.
Yes, it is.
Definitely love the white sand and the nice clear water on the Gulf part of Florida there. But yeah, we just try to do a lot of travel and see places. I think we've been through 47 of the 50 states now we've played in. So nice. We still need Alaska, we need Hawaii, and then we need randomly we need Vermont. That's the one strange outlier that we haven't played in yet.
Well, I want to say thank you for spending a little time with us this evening. If you're listening to us on the radio station, we're getting ready to play the new single, Fireproof. If you're watching the show, well, we're getting ready to play the video for Fireproof. And once again, like I said, thank you very much for spending a little time with us and talking about sleep signals with us. I appreciate it. I'm sure our listeners and our watchers do too as well. So, Robert, thank you very much. And here it is. This is Sleep Signals, and it's Fireproof. And you're either watching or listening to the sound.